You've been a spectator at your own execution, watching them strip the skin from your spirit while you smiled like a fool, desperate for scraps of their approval. You dimmed your fire so they wouldn't burn, and they still left you cold. Shadows clapped while you bled. Phantoms whispered lullabies while burying your name under the weight of your own silence. Tell me, how many times did you kneel, praying they'd notice you crumbling? Every time you swallowed your voice, a piece of you died. Every time you played small to keep their comfort intact. You built your own coffin, and you wonder why the mirror feels like a stranger's face now. You've been the ghost haunting your own life, watching your potential rot beneath layers of cheap praise and hollow moments. But here's what they don't see, and what you've forgotten. There's a part of you no one's ever met. It waits in the marrow of your regret. A beast, ancient and starving, made of every word you never spoke, every battle you ran from, every night you swore you'd rise but didn't. And tonight, you stop watching. Tonight, you steal the blade. This isn't rebirth. It's a quiet funeral. Bury the polite corpse you've dragged behind you. Mark the grave with silence. Let them think you've vanished. Good. That's how eclipses work. The world gets warm on your absence until it feels the cold of your shadow. Until then, let the monster wait. But remember, it's already awake. The kindest faces leave the deepest scars. Remember that. The ones who smiled while planting daggers in your back. The ones who clapped when you stumbled. The ones who praised you just enough to keep you tame. They never wanted you dead. They wanted you silent, obedient, forgettable. And you played your part, didn't you? They fed you crumbs, and you thanked them for starvation. You let them cut your name out of rooms you built. Watch them wear masks of concern while snickering at your hunger. Overlooked, underestimated, left behind like an afterthought in the story you wrote. Every dismissal, a spark. Every betrayal, a nail in the coffin of your old self. Good. Let them believe you were fragile. Let them decorate your absence with lies and laughter. They think they've won, but betrayal was never a curse. It was a brutal, holy initiation, a crimson right for those built to rise, not beg. You owe them a thank you, and a reckoning, one they'll never see coming. The same hands that denied you will tremble when your silence turns to fire, when your shadow stretches longer than their comfort. Remember this, what they buried wasn't a body, it was a fuse, and it's burning. The deadliest thing is the beast you've denied. You felt it in the marrow of your bones, when the world spat in your face, and you swallowed it like a coward. A phantom, ancient, patient, with fire for eyes and silence for a tongue. It watches you trade your birthright for comfort, your rage for approval, your soul for a seat at tables built to starve you. There was a time you felt untouchable. Do you remember? That wild, feral moment when fear bowed and the world felt small beneath your feet. It wasn't a dream. It was a warning. A glimpse of what you were before life caged you in deadlines, debts, and dead conversations. Most people, they survive life. They exist in routines, wear polite masks, and die with names no one whispers. But not you. No. There's something in you that refused to rot quietly. A storm dressed in skin, and the world should have known better than to leave you breathing. You're about to eclipse it, not step into the light. Devour it. Leave them blind, choking on your absence, begging for the version of you that knew mercy. And when the drums start, when the blood sings, you'll remember what it feels like to be unkillable. A lion doesn't announce itself to sheep. It moves in shadows, lets the trembling chatter fill the air while its presence turns blood cold. You've wasted years explaining yourself to people too small to hold your name. No more. The era of apologies, justifications, and meek introductions is over. Silence is your weapon now. Precision, calculation. Every move a surgical strike against your own limits, against the ceiling they swore you'd never touch. You don't owe the world your words. You owe it your dominance. And it's coming, not with a roar, but with the deafening quiet of inevitability. You'll eclipse them without warning. Let them cling to their noise, their desperate performances, their brittle crowns. When your shadow falls over them, they won't even realize they're drowning until the light's gone. They wanted a ghost? Good. Now they'll choke on your absence. And here's the beautiful, brutal truth. The loud ones will scream. They'll panic. They'll lash out, begging for the version of you that spoke softly and stayed small. But you'll bury them in your silence, and it will echo louder than any war cry. Legends are born from blood, betrayal, and blackout nights. Not from kind words, not from safe roads, not from the gentle approval of trembling men. You were forged in silence, sharpened by the very hands that tried to break you. And now, it's time to burn the corpse you once called you. Fire in your chest, blood-soaked hands ripping through the chains they wrapped around your voice, thunder cracking the sky wide open like a warning to the world. Something unspeakable has risen. The old self is dead. Bury it deep. Mark the grave with the names of those who doubted you. No one's coming to crown you. There are no ceremonies for the unkillable. You take the throne with blistered hands, cracked knuckles, and a heart that beats like a war drum. Let them stare. Let them pray. Let them run. The reckoning isn't near. It's here. And as the dawn breaks, whisper it, so the wind carries it like a curse. The world forgot me. Good. Now they'll remember my eclipse. And it won't be light they see next. It'll be the shadow swallowing them whole.